Bristol is the host city to the SS Great Britain, designed by local lad in Isambard Kingdom Brunel. Built in the Great Western Dockyard, which is where it is now resting after quite a checkered history. Sat in her glass seized dock gives quite a realistic look as if floating. Launched in 1843 after a 6-year build, she was at the time the largest passenger ship in the world, and the first to feature an iron hull with a screw-type propeller. Although designed to be powered mainly by steam, secondary masts were provided to give an option of sail power. The story of the Great Britain is well documented and is worth taking a look to give a more complete picture of its history. There is far too much detail for me to include in this short video. There is plenty to take on board in the adjacent museum. After passing through the museum areas, you are invited to step below under the glass sea to view and walk round the hull. The whole atmospheric environment is controlled to maintain a low humidity, thus helping preserve the iron hull. It was soon realised that iron has many advantages over wood when it comes to shipbuilding. Iron was becoming cheaper and didn't suffer from the usual dry rot or even woodworm. It is also lighter in weight and stronger. The display shows a replica of the original 6-bladed propeller, but this was found to be unsatisfactory and was swapped for a 4-bladed version. The main saloon ran from the engine room to the stern, with berths leading off either side. I'm sure catering for the passengers and crew was always going to be a challenge. But at least the first-class passengers did dine in reasonable luxury, and were served first-class food. I wonder who did the washing up. Steerage passengers' tickets, however, only bought them an empty, uncomfortable bunk and had to supply their own bedding along with plates and cutlery, etc. Of course, it was a different scenario for the first-class passengers, although still fairly cramped. There were, of course, various basic facilities on board, including a ship's surgeon. Of interest to the mechanically minded are the massive gear wheels displayed. Being chain driven to reduce noise, the chains were thought to be the largest ever made. Everything is very typical of the era, being over-engineered and giving the impression of lasting forever. The ship feels very much like a living museum, and I'm sure it would appeal to all. It is hard to imagine steering a ship of this size at the stern and in the open. Walking in real time, the full length of the ship, and with a mast lying alongside, gives an overall impression of the size. We both really enjoyed our visit and would recommend it.